Here we go. Let's start on the feminine side, this reading. The World. Wow. Perfect. And the Page of Pentacles in reverse for the masculine. So I'm recording this on, what day is it today? I lose track of days. I think it's the 14th, 13th, whatever, March, middle of March. The feminine Aries energy in the middle of March and moving forward is in her element. She is feeling free and confident and successful and solid in many areas of her life. I feel like this confidence is only going to propel her into any intimate relationship or partnership or in the dating world in a very powerful way, because she is comfortable in her own skin this month and willing to offer herself from a glorious place, a place that people will find attractive. Because when you are comfortable in your skin, Aries, nobody can ask anything other than that from you, right? Just being true to who you are and your experience, and that's what you have to offer the world. So the masculine, however, I don't feel like he is feeling in his power in the month of March. I feel that it could be a little bit of, a wobbly month for these masculine, and I like to clarify that feminine doesn't necessarily mean female, and masculine doesn't necessarily portend male. We all have both, and you will identify most likely with more one than the other. So there's an element of feeling a little bit on shaky ground, masculine, and so I'm curious to see what the subconscious energies are. There could be a situation that is pulling the masculine away from the feminine that he has to deal with in financial realm, career realm, practical material realm. And he's not able to give the feminine, he's not able to meet her on this level right now. And this isn't forever. It's just a page energy, and it's temporary, and he'll move through this. And I'm getting towards the end of the month, like in a couple of weeks, this energy will have shifted and dissipated. So let's see, Temperance. In reverse. I feel like the masculine, because of this situation here that he's having to deal with, he's feeling not in balance in his life, and maybe relying a little bit too heavily to get him through this time period on some behaviors and habits and patterns that are old behaviors, habits, and patterns, sort of vices, whatever that may be, however that shows up. It shows up differently for each individual, because I feel like he's not necessarily in the place of relying on his higher guidance, and maybe, I want to say, sort of going through the motions in his life, just like sort of in survival mode, dear masculine. So let's see what the conscious energies is. Yeah, what's going on, masculine Aries? So there's definitely a situation that he's having to deal with, and I feel like it's either outer or an inner experience. And if it is an outer experience, of course, they would be experiencing it on an inner level too, of not feeling like things are clicking into place, or not having enough, or not having the support that would be precisely what he needs in the middle of the month. And this outer experience is leading him into just survival mode, and a little bit of weariness, and a little bit of sorrow, I want to say, and frustration. I'm getting frustration, and I don't feel like this imbalanced way of handling the situation is helping anything. But what are you going to do? Sometimes we do all that we can do to handle the situations that arise in our life. And sometimes our best today is going to look different tomorrow. So feminine, if you're able to, and I want to see what your other energies are, understand that the masculine is going through a little bit of a rough patch with his confidence and feeling like he has enough in the world. I feel like that would be supportive of you and for him. So let's move on down here. The 9 of Cups in reverse. Let's see what this is. And the Devil. Okay. Funny, I was thinking about this card as I was shuffling. It sort of showed its face in reverse, off camera. And I feel like this is looped back into, because she's looking towards the masculine here, like her expectations are not being met. And I feel like there's a little bit of an underlying sorrow for the feminine because her expectations aren't being met from the masculine. But I want to say our expectations from other people, like we're pretty much, when you expect something from somebody, you can be sure that there's disappointment in the next page that you flip, because other people aren't there to fulfill us. That's an internal process. So if she's looking outside of herself to gain confidence, or expecting him to meet her in this energy when he simply isn't able to, I feel like there's an underlying disappointment within the feminine that she's going to have to deal with in the month of March. And it could trigger in her outer experience her own little addictive patterns and attachments. This is, to me, the Devil is the card of attachment. So just go easy on the masculine, feminine in the month of March through these energies. Give him the space that he needs to deal with this, because and in doing so, he'll feel supported by that, actually. And keep coming back to your own self-confidence, your own drive, Aries feminine, your own projects, other relationships that are easy right now through these energies, and fun. Maybe the masculine isn't capable of having fun for a couple of weeks, and that's okay. It's all part of life, right? We go in and out of different cycles at different times in our lives. And it's all necessary. We're here to experience it all, Aries. So let's see what the common energies are. The King of Swords. Okay, so I feel like the communication, you're trying to cut through and you're trying to communicate through these situations that you're each individually dealing with in the month of March. And you're both very firm in your experience and your words and how you're sharing with one another. And it's not necessarily, I don't want to say not emotional. It is emotional, but it's sort of cut and dry. Like, this is where I am and this is where I am. Sort of take it or leave it. King of Swords is not a touchy-feely sort of energy. He's operating from the mind and not necessarily the heart. And he knows what he stands for and he knows what he wants. And there's a little bit of stubbornness in thinking that he's right is what's coming through. So just be aware of that the words that you speak hold power, as they always do. But especially, I feel like this is like now around the middle of the month and the new moon, how you want to hash it out with each other in your communication and how you're sharing. Like, I feel like the masculine is not going to want to have to explain himself to the feminine. Like, he just wants to get to work and deal with what he wants to deal with. And maybe a little bit of the neediness, if it's there, coming from the feminine, is only going to make him want to shut down further and go into this energy. So again, feminine, keep yourself happy and occupied and not expecting the masculine to be able to show up for you this month, right now, just right now. And be as supportive and understanding as you can. The King of Swords is a very understanding card energy. And very blunt too. So just be aware of that. And if you want to offer some type of comfort in the situation, you can. Just, I guess the advice is to try to be a little bit more soft about it. Like, soften the edges of your words and your thoughts and bring some heart energy in. So let's do a Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle card for you by Judy Hall for an additional message for you. So do comment below. I love hearing from you guys on the parts that jumped out and are resonating with you. It helps me to learn and understand these energies better and where you guys are at. So again, this can be either your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign, or maybe even Venus too. I want to say that since it is a love reading. Okay, this one. Halite. I feel like that's the balm for this King of Swords energy. Number 41. Let's see. Open the Master Cleanser. Halite draws out impurities from your physical, energetic, and soul bodies. It dissolves old patterns, negative thoughts, and toxic emotions, promoting emotional well-being. Halite stimulates the meridians and grounds the healing properties of other crystals. So it could be for the feminine. I think it's both for the masculine and the feminine, because these two major arcana cards came up to dissolve the old patterns. Interesting. Self-understanding. Subtle ties and influences may be affecting you more than you recognize. Unacknowledged feelings of abandonment or rejection or emotional neediness, what did I say from the feminine, emotional neediness, may underlie dis-ease. Yeah, I feel like the neediness from the feminine looking to the masculine to fulfill her in some way is causing this underlying discomfort in her emotional world. Detrimental energies picked up under the influence of drink or drugs could be affecting you, as could someone else's lustful or jealous feelings. But being spaced out and ungrounded also leaves you open to invasion by external forces. It is time for a thorough clear out in your life. Declutter your space, including your car, detox your body and mind, and try a juice fast for vitality. I love that because regular detoxing and purification on all levels helps us to anchor into the earth and what's pure. So I love that message for you guys, especially because the attachment card and the jealousies, I feel like the jealousies could be coming from the feminine side. Just suspicious or wondering what the heck the masculine is up to, but really like he's just in this space needing to figure out some financial situation and dealing with his own experience of life. So yeah, detox, juice fast, and try to become aware this month of your vices and those moments where your experience is starting to feel so uncomfortable that it's an automatic response to reach for something to avoid the discomfort. Try to just be more present and watch it and feel it so that you can experience it so it doesn't get lodged in your body and you have to recreating that experience to understand what's going on. So